Do prices of precious metals go up during a government shutdown? That's what we're talking about today, so let's dive in.
Sorry, we're closed.
Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Nose for Silver. We bring you silver, gold, precious metal info every week. And today, we're talking about a timely subject. If we should expect to see the prices of precious metals go up if the government shuts down. Before we get rolling, let me just remind you, in the description, you can sign up for our free newsletter, get free weekly info about all your favorite precious metals right to your inbox. There is one easy answer for this question, if the price of precious metals go up during a government shutdown. And that answer is yes. Historically, prices of precious metals, particularly gold and silver, tend to go up during a U.S. government shutdown. And that's because investors flee other types of investments because of uncertainty to get more exposure into safe haven assets like gold and silver. A shutdown does disrupt economic reporting, so certain reports will not come out during a government shutdown, and those reports are typically guide points to let us know if the stock market is healthy or not. So without those, something more stable like gold or silver is obviously people's go-to. Now, remember, this is not financial advice. I'm just exploring what's happened during past shutdowns and if this shutdown's unique in any way and what we might be able to expect from it. After answering that pretty simple question, let's look at this scenario where it's a little different than previous shutdowns. And the reason why is because gold and silver have been on an absolute tear lately. Gold sitting around 3,800, silver wanting to get up to that $50 point. So those prices have already skyrocketed this year. Can something like a government shutdown extend those gains? Or will those gains act differently because we've already seen such a large increase? Well, one thing we can rest assured of is that there is and has been weakness of the dollar this year. And a weak dollar almost always makes precious metals go up in value because essentially what's happening is that the metal isn't gaining any value. It's just that the dollar is losing value. In a government shutdown, outside nations might be less inclined to invest in the U.S. bond market or other U.S. equities, and that could lead to other countries pulling that money and putting it more into an asset like gold and silver, or even copper, they're saying. It could definitely be a catalyst for prices to really begin to increase if we see a government shutdown. The other thing to think about is the duration of the shutdown. I would highly doubt if a shutdown looms long that the price of precious metals would just continue to go up and up and up. There's got to be some sort of baseline depending how long the shutdown lasts. We have seen interest rates come down a touch, and there will be more talk of moving those down even more. And while that isn't directly related to the shutdown, that's just another tailwind that's pushing this market higher and higher. So how much of the gold and silver price has already been built in as an expectation that the government will shut down? I mean, that's a question that none of us can really answer, but we can only suspect that the recent increase in prices has been playing that as a piece already into the prices going up. So if we were to see the government all get on board and say, no shutdown's going to happen, we're going to pass a bill that extends this, it could easily be that gold and silver prices, platinum, would all plummet in the near term because some of those prices and some of that fear is already built in to what silver and gold is costing right now. For all the gold and silver stackers out there who've been doing this for the long term, or even for the ones that have started stacking recently, it's been a heyday to see these prices where they are. And with all the turmoil in the world right now, with this government shutdown on the horizon, perhaps already enacted, depending on when you're watching this video and what happens, I can only expect that this will be the window where silver hits that $50 mark. What will happen after it reaches that point, there's no telling, because that is just visually a very large fence to cross once it's hit and to stay in that territory. All the pieces are coming into place right now for gold and silver to continue their tear in the market and to really hit an explosive upward trend. With the conflicts overseas, with the conflicts at home, with the government shutdown looming, and it might be a test of wills between the parties to see who is willing to hold out longer. The only winner in my case in all of that will be those who have stacked precious metals and those who use precious metals as a hedge against uncertainty, because that is the only certainty right now, is that a lot of uncertainty is out there. Let me know what you think in the comments. If this shutdown happens, in fact, if we're already in it, what price do you see silver reaching? And where's the top for gold as well? Are we going to hit that $4,000 mark? I don't know. But it will be quite an interesting week or two or three or who knows how long, depending what happens this evening, particularly tonight at midnight, what direction we will be headed. Thank you for watching this video. I'm Nose for Silver. We'll see you next time around with more silver on the table. Later on.